Well, let's start with it. When he says all of these local officials, there are a few, and we've talked about them before. What we've tried to do is to follow the science, and I would encourage those who are thinking about breaking the rules to follow the science too. Again, what we know is that people put themselves at risk when they don't wear masks, when they gather in large groups. We know that people who are going from place to place and who are asymptomatic and not following any of the social distancing are putting other people at risk. And we know that in Illinois, we've seen the number of infections that come from one person who's infected go down over time, right? How many people get infected from the one infected person has gone down significantly over time. That's not an accident. It doesn't happen by nature that it went down. It went down because people stayed at home. It's because people are following those social distancing rules. And so I would just suggest to anyone that is considering breaking those rules that they're really putting their citizenry in danger. And I would just point out also to those in Rockford, since he's from WROK, unfortunately Rockford is a hot spot in the state. Winnebago County has quite a number of infections, and it's something that we're watching very closely, and it's why people who live in that area and in the surrounding counties need to be extraordinarily careful.
And related, can you comment on the 5 Republican congressmen who sent a letter to you asking for regional reopening, and you perhaps, I believe, had a conversation with them as well, and can you characterize that?
I did. Actually, we had a terrific conversation. It was the entire congressional delegation. I heard from, I think, 3 of the 5 congressmen who spoke up and had questions, 3 of the 5 Republican congressmen. And it was a good dialogue. And I don't disagree with them that different areas of the state require different rules during this time. And that's why we made some changes. You see in this new executive order that goes into effect tomorrow, the state parks are not in Cook County and Chicago, right? The idea that people can get elective surgeries is much more available in areas outside of the collar counties and Cook County because more infections exist just by the numbers in this area. And so elective surgeries, state parks, golf courses, and so on, many of the things that we've opened up just in this executive order that only is in effect for a month here is an indication, indeed, that of my recognition and our recognition that it's different from one area to another. And we'll be talking more about that as we put forward plans for reopening.
Okay, last 2 from Stacy Baca, ABC7. A protest today called on you to lift the 1997 Rent Control Preemption Act and allow individual jurisdiction to deal with the rent issue. What is your stance on this and lifting that ban?
Yeah. So as you know, this is a state law that's in effect that the legislature can make a change to, and I know that many people have come to Springfield to talk about doing that. For me, I want to make sure that people can pay their rent and that they're not being pushed out from gentrification from their communities. So I would like to see changes made, but it is something the legislature needs to do.
Okay, and finally, Mary Ann Ahern, New York's governor and the mayor, the city's mayor, announced they'll shut down mass transit overnight for deep cleaning. Any plans on talking